Welcome to the Children's Garden Farm Garden. My name is Kelsey and I'm a children's educator here. We're going to be checking in the farm garden and talking a little bit about some fun things that we can do with rocks this week. So in the farm garden, we use rocks for our plant markers, and we decorate them so that you can see a picture of the plant and the name of the plant that they are marking, so that when people are coming to the garden, visiting the garden, they can know what plant they're looking at. So we have some beautiful marigolds right here, and our parsley with our parsley rock. And the reason why we are talking about rocks this week is because on Friday, Tanisha is going to be reading you a story called Stick and Stone by Beth Ferry. It's a really cool story about a stick and a stone, and those stick and stone are friends and they help each other out in sticky situations. So another thing that I wanted to talk about this week is how plants help each other and how they help each other grow better together than if they were planted separately. So we're going to move on, and I'll show you one of my favorite plant companions or plant groupings that we plant in the garden. So one of my favorite plant groupings or companionships or friendships is the Three Sisters Garden. The Three Sisters Garden is especially special to me because it has been used for a very, very long time. 300 years before the European settlers got to America, the Iroquois and many other Native American tribes were using this method of gardening, and we still use it today. Lots of people still use the Three Sisters Garden because it works so well. The three sisters in this garden are corn, beans, and squash. So, the first sister is corn. I have a corn kernel here. Corn is planted first. You probably have some corn seeds in your house, whether you know it or not. So you can actually use corn from popcorn, bags of popcorn, and try planting that and see if it will grow. And corn plants, I don't know if you've ever seen a corn plant before, but they are very tall and straight and sturdy. So the corn plants, they shoot up nice and tall and straight early on, and then we plant beans. Beans, like we learned last week, or the type of beans that we plant in the Three Sisters Garden, grow up like a vine. The beans use the corn as almost like a trellis, like we saw last week. So the beans, as they're growing up the corn stalk, they're also gathering nutrients from the air and putting it into the soil. That nutrient is like food for her other sisters. So beans feeds the other sisters with nutrients. Our last sister in the Three Sisters Garden is squash. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a squash plant before, but squash has very big leaves. And squash also likes to spread out on the bed or the garden bed or the soil like a carpet. So basically what this does is the large leaves shade the soil to keep it nice and cool, and it also helps to keep water in the soil that the three sisters can use to help them grow. So when you plant the three sisters together, you can have more food than if you plant them separately. Another plant friendship that is really neat is tomatoes. You can see we have little tomatoes and basil. Tomatoes and basil go well together in the garden, but they also go well together in food, like on pizza or spaghetti. So we have our tomato plant And I'm just gonna plant it right here in this garden bed. And I'm gonna plant basil, which smells very strongly, right next to my tomato. The reason why basil and tomato goes really well together is that basil has a really strong smell that keeps away insects that come to eat our tomato plants. So our basil basically protects our tomatoes, and also people believe that basil, when planted next to tomato, makes your tomatoes have a stronger and better flavor. There we go. So last week we visited our pea plant and learned about these sugar snap peas. And so I wanted to give you guys a little update. Last week there were only a couple of flowers on our plant, but as you can see this week it is loaded with pea flowers, which means that we are going to have a lot of peas in just a few days. And you can see the peas are already starting to form. Our flowers are dropping off and the peas are growing from where the flower was. And so I'm so excited for these sugar snap peas. Thank you so much for learning with me today and checking in the farm garden and learning about companion planting and looking at the ways that we use rocks in our garden. Be sure to check back in on Friday morning for story time with Miss Tarnisha. Again, she'll be reading a story called Stick and Stone by Beth Ferry. Thanks so much. Have a great week.